to Miamisburg's reopening of Riverfront Park. It means 20 years of patience and planning and finally celebrating the fact that we have a riverfront park to highlight our historic downtown. It's been just 20 years of work and residents accommodating the features that were here. It is complete. The only thing changing now is the size of the trees. I think the ginkgo stage and the different arts, the bands, the plays, all of the things that it's going to be able to host to bring the community together to watch. The Grand Park here is, great for walkers and dogs and bike riders, and then of course the playground for our young citizens. The playground unofficially has been open for about a month. Everyone's been over there playing.
This park right here means everything to the vitality of our downtown Miamisburg. This is so awesome to be here today. This is something that is 20 plus years in the making, and to finally see it here live and ready to go is just totally gratifying. So really looking forward to all the great times ahead that's going to be shared here by our community.
It's just a great moment for the entire city and the entire department to be able to finally have Riverfront Park finished, welcoming the community here, having them have a place to play, enjoy nature, and relax right here downtown Miamisburg. It's just phenomenal. Well, in just a week we'll have Springfest in the Berg, and then we have concerts. We're trying to plan things like yoga in the park and just make sure that we really utilize this asset to its fullest now that it's here.
Wow, welcome everyone. Welcome to the ginkgo stage. Welcome to Miamisburg's finally completed Riverfront Park. Honestly, I can't tell you how humbling it is to sit here as the mayor of Miamisburg and look out over this park and to have had the opportunity to watch it every day when I went to work in the morning. It has been a collaboration that a lot of people are going to talk about. I'm just going to say thank you all for being here. This truly is a dedication of a park. It's a celebration, but it's a dedication to the commitment that the residents of Miamisburg, the business owners up and down Water Street, we had a vision for this park. It was told to the merchants that this vision was going to happen. Everyone invested up and down the road. Everyone who comes to this park is going to have a great place to stop, eat, socialize, grab some ice cream, ride a bike. Anyways, if someone tells you Miamisburg can't throw a party, remind them of this night, okay? This is our party, and I'm proud to be standing here. We're going to hear of a long list of donors who helped this park happen. The biggest thing I have to say is I have to recognize Miamisburg City Council but for them not dedicating the money last year to finally complete this park, make it done, make it usable, we wouldn't be here right now. So it is their dedication behind it, and I told myself I wasn't going to get emotional at this opening. The financial commitment of just all staff. They've buckled down, they've saved money, they've done what it takes to bring amenities to our citizens here in town, and we have to appreciate them and recognize them for it. Yeah, please, give them a big round of applause. Everyone should know our elected officials on stage, but I'm going to point them out and embarrass them. Councilman Tom Nicholas is here. His wife Wilma's in the audience somewhere. Councilman Mike McCabe is here with his wife Peggy. Councilman Ryan Colvin is here with Stacy and both his children, grown-ups. They're not children anymore, are they, Ryan? Vice Mayor Stephen Beekler is here. Councilman John Stalder, President of the Miami Valley Fire District is here with his wife Sue. We can't ever leave out Councilman Jeff Nestor, and I know Jenny, his wife, is here. Councilwoman Sarah Thacker is here with her lovely daughter and her husband, Alan. Out in the audience somewhere is State Rep Tom Young. Where are you, Tom? There you are. And State Representative Rodney Creech is here. There he is. You know him. Give a weed an inch, it'll take your yard. That's him. You can blame him for that ever being in your head. The one person who was instrumental in this park being here is my very good friend Dick Church. And our former mayor, dedicated a large part of his career to making sure this park was here, and in the planning of it, and the institution, earmarking money for it, and tearing down houses for it. And Dr. Judy Church, you're going to make me cry, but I'm so glad that you're here representing him. I know you were his biggest fan, so thank you. Somewhere in the park is a Mayor Church and Dr. Judy Church bench. I encourage you to find it, get your photo taken on it. It will be a memory to keep. So, Mayor Church, thank you. I know he's here, and we love you. And so now, I'm going to introduce you to our city manager, Keith Johnson. He's here with his lovely wife, Julie, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about the financing of this park.
So she waited until the train came. My job is to talk a little bit about how we got here today. I was glad that Michelle mentioned Dick. Dick was, for those who've worked with Dick was probably the downtown's largest cheerleader. I thought about him earlier today. I really thought it was going to rain tonight, but I remember Dick said, and I'm not sure what this means, Judy, but Dick said, if there are clouds over Hipple Hole, right, we're due for rain. I'm assuming that Hipple Hole was cloudless, and it's over that way somewhere, but that's why we have such a beautiful evening. So I come from this from a different perspective. I've been here, this is my 30th year, so I've actually been here since the start of this whole process began. You can't talk about this park without talking about the rebirth of the downtown, because that's what this park was. 30 years ago, I came here from Athens, Georgia, as a young city planner, and my job was to take a look at what we could do downtown. Downtown back 30 years ago was about 80% either vacant or underutilized buildings. And to give you an idea of that, if you took a stroll down Main Street tonight and you walk past the Eagles, you walk past the American Legion, and you walk past Bullwinkle's, those are the only three businesses or entities here today that were here 30 years ago. So it shows you how much happened. 30 years ago, the businesses that we lost, and again, for a small town to lose any business, it's a killer, but we lost Sutman's Clothing Store, Sorrell's, I see Doug Sorrell is here tonight and he's joined us, Pop's Jewelers, Phil Howard Drugstore. We only had 2 restaurants downtown 30 years ago. One of them closed, TW's. And at one time, we're going to hear from one of the banks here tonight, but we had 3 banks in Miamisburg, and 2 of those 3 closed. And what that meant really for the downtown was a loss of people. I mean, you look around at this crowd today, this is about a month's worth of business in downtown Miamisburg 30 years ago. And that's hard to believe, but that's what we were dealing with 30 years ago and trying to figure out what to do about the downtown. When you look at the businesses that we lost, there were then also the things that were happening downtown that aren't signs of a good, healthy downtown. We had a Salvation Army, a Mission of Mercy, a WIC office. We had 2 bars that the police spent an awful lot of time in late at night. And if you came down here on a Wednesday night trying to find a place to park, the bingo operation literally utilized every parking space that we had downtown. And more importantly, at least the consultants that we talked to, the problem we were having was how do you connect to the river and the bikeway? And we're actually standing in an area right now that was the largest collection of dilapidated houses in South Dayton. And I know many of you remember that. A lot of you younger people only remember as a park. But in order to get to where we're at today, we had to address that issue. So we started with a series of plans, and really it took strong leadership to get us here. We talked about Mayor Church. We also had John Wyhoper, our city manager, and John made sure that we had the resources that we needed in order to do this. And we also had a very young Parks and Recreation Director, Becky Benet. Becky, raise your hand. Many of you know Becky from Five Rivers, but Becky started here. Becky brought this energy along with the vision that we were looking at doing. And the challenge we had is how do you begin assembling all of this? These were 65 properties through here, which included apartments. We had a couple of commercial buildings. There were parking lots that were tied to some of the uses on Main Street. There was a closed church. You know, how do you deal with that? So we were able to identify a source of funds through the state of Ohio that netted about $2 million. Along with some city funds, we actually began talking to businesses. The very first properties that we bought, Becky oversaw that. And then when Becky moved on, it moved on to me. But we, for 6 years, one property at a time, began purchasing properties. We were able to negotiate with every one of the property owners, but it took us 6 years to pull that together. And then at the end of that, when we had it cleared, what are you going to do with it? Well, we put a temporary stage, and some people thought that was intended to be permanent, but it was just a temporary stage. We put some trees and benches in and said, you know what, let's create a venue. And over the next decade, that venue grew to where we had about 85 events, and it wasn't even a park yet, downtown. So we began to see what we thought might happen, which is people were coming downtown with this. We also saw on Main Street a number of people that took, you heard the mayor talk about that. These were pioneers in their own right. These people were putting their money in businesses with the promise that this vision is going to happen. And the fact that you can walk down this roadway and see the backs of buildings that are fixed up and decks to sit out and eat, they were put there with no park. But they knew it was coming. And those people deserve as much credit as everyone else does because they took the chance to make sure that that happened. So I'd like to really kind of pass out some thank yous as we look forward and the rest of your agenda. The first thank you is to the property owners out here. At any group of them said no, this park wouldn't have happened. There were a lot of things that had to happen for us to be here tonight. The first step was being able to acquire all these properties, and we were able to do that. The second step was to get out a vision and a design, and we opened that up to the community, and we were able to do that. So that first set of thank yous. The second is for the merchants who put their time and money and sweat to make sure that we had a venue for people to come down and shop and eat at or go catch a movie at. And all this stuff is tied together. It isn't anything that any one of us did. And working together, we all were able to do that. So City Council, these are the 8 elected officials you have. Over the 30 years, we probably could double the seats up here from the other elected officials. I saw Lisa's here tonight, a former council person. There were a lot of council people that were dedicated that this vision we developed had to be held. And several years ago, we began looking at budgeting and how to do this. I really want to recognize, in particular, Councilman Stalder. John had said, you know, we're really good at doing designs and doing plans. We need to finish some of these. And we all thought, well, at the time, you know, the park's pretty active, but it wasn't finished. So we sat down and working with the council over a couple of years, we were able to develop the funding for this. This is all this is cash flowed. Some of it is, a lot of it's donations, and you'll hear a little bit from the foundation next, but we did not borrow a nickel to build this. All of this is cash. And this is our gift to you and really your gift to us, because without you, this would not be possible tonight. So again, thank you for being here. This is a tremendous night, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Good evening. My name's Sean Myers. Most of you know me as the president of Farmers and Merchants Bank, but I'm also here tonight representing the Miamisburg Community Foundation. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. It's an all-volunteer board, and it was really just established a few years ago. But it's an avenue for people to do charitable giving to support projects downtown. It could be anything tied to recreation or the arts. You'll see a lot of our past activity already around here, the dog park, a lot of these murals, and of course the park here today. I want to take a moment to thank some of the significant donors so far for this park project. Our largest donors were the ones that sponsored different things as naming rights. The stage we're in right now is the Louise Epperson Foundation. There's a little sign over here that tells you about that. We have Farmers and Merchants Bank, as part of our 100th anniversary, sponsored the playground. Thank you. Have a few employees here. Springfest sponsored our beautiful swings along the levee. And the Fink family, the pavilion down by the playground. We also have many other, what I'll call large sponsors, from $5,000 to $50,000. I'm just going to go through those names real quick. Niels Winther and Think Patented, Greg Bell and Margaret Hurley, Bob Bell, Collins Real Estate, Bentley's Heating and Cooling, Miamisburg Eagles, Steve Divnick, Miamisburg Vision Care, Hoskett Hewlin Insurance, also known as Masters, the Church Family, Molly Williams, and Ted and Kathy Barlett. If you'd like to make a donation, thank you. Thank you to all the donors. If you'd like to make a donation to this park, or we're also looking for money for the Sycamore Trails Park project, or just any general support of the foundation and the things we do around town, please feel free to contact us or go online to miamisburgcommunityfoundation.org. I know it's a lot of letters, but it's easy to remember. miamisburgcommunityfoundation.org. We still have several opportunities for this park and Sycamore Trails Park. If you go to that website, you can start with just a brick for $250 or $500. You can sponsor a tree and have your name by it for $1,000, or one of the benches for $2,500. So again, take the opportunity, and it's really a great way for citizens or businesses to be a part of all these wonderful projects. So thank you all for being here.
Hi there. My name is Ryan Davis. I'm the Parks and Recreation Director. I can promise you the credit for this project does not go to me. But my role tonight is to talk about the park and to thank all the people that helped make this happen. It's a really long list, and so instead of running down a list of names, I'd like to talk about it just a little bit differently. I think it's important to know that so many people have played a part in this project that it's inevitable that we're going to forget somebody or miss somebody. There's no intent with that at all. We appreciate everyone. But as I was thinking about what to say tonight, it occurred to me that this park is simply a reflection of Miamisburg, who we are and what we are. So if we can, let's take a minute, look around, take it in, look what we did together. This is what we have created. This is what we have all been a part of, and this is our community. Miamisburg is such a special place, but I think it's important to talk about why it's so special. And as the park is a reflection of that, I thought I'd name a few. First, Miamisburg has a rich history and a dedicated citizenry to preserving and discussing that history. We say often that this project is 20 years in the making, 30 years in the making, but in fact, the origins of this park can be traced long before that. Local historian John O'Gorman wrote in a book about the impact of the 1913 flood. In that book, John writes about how the Miamisburg News, May 1st, 1913, wrote an article. In that article, the county commissioners discussed plans for a new bridge, as the previous one had been washed out. The concluding paragraph of that report stated, "It's the thought that someday the bank of the river will be vacated and made into a park. It's suggested that the National Flood Commission will recommend this." In the park near the splash pad, there's a sign. You can see the historical marker that dedicates this park based on the history of the 1913 flood. If you look up, you'll see markers that show the depth of the water back in 1913, right at that spot. Miamisburg is special because it understands and values connections. When we had our groundbreaking at the park, I talked about how this is not just a park, about how it's something bigger. Keith talked about how it's part of this downtown. The park and the downtown are symbiotic to one another. When the downtown thrives, the park thrives. When the park thrives, downtown thrives. This park is not meant to stand alone as a place to visit, but is designed to be a part of the experience in visiting and enjoying all that downtown Miamisburg has to offer. When we designed the park, we knew it was crucial to allow residents and visitors to stay longer, visit more, and have a positive experience. We needed a place for young families to play, and so the playground was designed for this. The Farmers and Merchants Bank Playground provides a dry space to play while families can sit underneath the Fink Family Pavilion. If you're looking for some wetter entertainment, the Rotary Splash Pad is here for you as well. As we think about connections, it's the connection with the Miami Conservancy District that made this park a success. The ability to see right out over the Great Miami River provides a vantage point and a view that we have not seen in this community for over 100 years. It was intentional that the Springfest and the Berg levee overlooks are called just that, the levee overlooks, as opposed to the river overlooks. Because the connection to the Conservancy District, the builders and the caretakers of the levee, is what make this park possible. Miamisburg is special because of its commitment. It was no easy task to keep this dream alive. Special thanks, appreciation, and recognition are warranted to all the city staff, city council, and department staff, past and present. The previous Parks and Recreation directors, Becky's getting a lot of praise tonight, Debbie McLaughlin, Kelsey Whipp, the late Mayor Dick Church, and many council members who over the years have kept this dream alive amongst all the competing priorities and the needs of the community. It's also important to recognize the current city manager, Keith Johnson, Mayor Collins, and all the city council whose commitment to this project allowed us to build such an amazing venue. The commitment of our donors, large and small, who gave to be part of its future. The commitment of any citizen who has placed a sticker on a concept planning board many years ago. The commitment of our volunteers to this community, such as those on our Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, our Citizens Urban Forestry Advisory Board, and all those whose advice, guidance, and input has kept us on this path all along the way. Miamisburg is special because it likes to celebrate. Events, there we go, thank you. Sorry, it says pause for effect, I forgot. Events are a hallmark to summer in Miamisburg, from car shows to movie nights, concerts, and festivals. It's because of these events that the park features this permanent amphitheater with the high-quality sound and lighting that it does. In just 7 days, we will welcome home Springfest and the Berg back to Riverfront Park. At that event, we will be able to experience the park to all of its potential. Added parking allows extra space for the carnival. The Great Lawn and green spaces will welcome visitors to explore local vendors at the Maker Mart. And the sounds of bands will grace this Ginkgo stage all weekend long. Miamisburg is special because of its character and its charm. I heard a story just this past week from a resident who had family from out of town. Their daughter was telling us, and he was recanting this to me, how she was just awestruck. This place felt like it was from a movie. It was just such a special place. It has such character and charm. This park reflects that character and charm. Elements like murals, the Ginkgo mural by Erica Arnst, is a reflection of all of the other things that are here downtown. And our canvas benches. The circular bench at the top of the amphitheater and the benches around the park add character and play to this charm. These benches are actually made from recycled wind turbines. Once they've served their time turning wind energy into electricity, turbine blades are difficult to get rid of. And so we found a company up in Avon, Ohio that knows how to recycle these, and they turn them into these beautiful benches that add all of the character. It's important to point out that tonight, as a way to celebrate the evening, commemorate the grand opening of this park, we'd like to invite everyone, as the evening goes on, after we cut the ribbon, to be part of this and to put your fingerprint on this project. To my left, you'll see one of these benches made from a retired wind turbine. After we're done cutting the ribbon, you'll be able to sign our guest book, paint your hand, and put your hand on the bench. That will serve as a commemoration for your presence here tonight and your impact here on this project. And finally, Miamisburg is special because the people of Miamisburg care. The way in which this park reflects the care has been obvious from the beginning, no matter which beginning you choose to think about. From the business investing that we've talked about, where they've started taking their back doors and making them their front doors, to the people and families and individuals who have moved here because of the idea of what this park could become. The care of the people who chose to provide their time, their input, and their money towards this project's success is a reflection of the care that people have for this community. To those that have worked on the project, they also have demonstrated care. From our amazing design team at the Kleinders Group and all the subcontractors, I'd like to point out Kelly Flaherty and Steve Cordy with the Kleinders Group. They're here tonight. What they were able to do, let's give them a round of applause. They had to combine over 20 years of input, 3 different design concepts, and countless ideas and recommendations into the beautiful space that we were able to enjoy tonight. Double J Construction, to Ron, Lee, Kelly, and Corey, thank you for the work that your team has done in taking great care of our community in constructing this park. Double J Construction also built Water Street back before 2016 when that was just an alley. So their fingerprints are all over this park. Recognition is due to the Montgomery County Transportation Improvement District, to Vanessa, Mike, and Veronica. Your care for our park through this process has been incredible. The management and oversight that your team has provided has allowed city staff to focus on the experience of residents, visitors, and users. I'd like to give special kudos to Reese Electric, Stephen Markland with Markland Productions, for their hard work and effort in making the hundreds of connections for both the power as well as the sound and lights. Let's give Stephen a round of applause. He's down here in the front, turning me up and down. And is Chad here from Joe's Landscaping? So Chad deserves a special moment in the spotlight. It was only a few short weeks ago that we decided that planting grass seed was just not going to work in this park, and we had to pivot, and so we added sod, literally 4 weeks ago. And what Chad and his team did was took care of our park. He worked long hours, drove their team all day, all night to get this sod in, and that is what has finished this park. So Chad, if you're here, we really appreciate you. Thank you. I'd also be remiss if I don't take some time to recognize the staff of the entire city of Miamisburg, the Public Works Department, Finance Department, Engineering Department, Development Department, City Manager's Office, and Human Resources. This truly has been a citywide project to get us where we are. Kevin McKinney, Aaron Stonecash, Carrie Harner, and Jared Colvin and the entire Parks and Facilities team have done just an amazing job putting all of the finishing touches on this project. To Jen Brandt and Rachel Goforth and the entire Recreation and Special Events team, making tonight possible and planning all of our events throughout the season. We're so excited for what they have coming up. If we could, we have a lot of members of the Miamisburg Parks and Recreation team. If they could just raise their hands real quick. Can we please give them a round of applause? When we think about caring for your community, these people go above and beyond every day to take care of this community. So as you can see, Miamisburg is a special place, and this park reflects that. It's special because everyone has had such a huge part in making this a possibility. Riverfront Park is our park. Riverfront Park is everyone's park. In a moment, we will do a ribbon cutting that involves every one of you. We're going to line you up, and everyone's going to get a pair of scissors, and everyone's going to get a piece of that ribbon to take home with them as a memento for their time here tonight. I'd like to summarize my comments tonight with some words that we have located on our donor sign that you can find in the middle of the park. It's titled Rooted in Community, celebrating two decades of dedication and support. It is with heartfelt gratitude that we stand in awe of the journey that has led us to this moment. As the sun dances on the waters of the Great Miami River and shines across this beloved Riverfront Park, we reflect on the tireless efforts, the boundless generosity, and the unwavering dedication of all of those who have contributed to its transformation. To our esteemed donors, your generosity has been the cornerstone of this project. Your financial contributions have paved the way for new pathways, vibrant landscapes, inviting amenities, and an impressive community gathering space where memories are made and friendships will flourish. Your names grace this sign as a symbol of our deep appreciation for your belief in our vision and your commitment to our community's well-being. Yet our gratitude extends far beyond these words and names. For over 2 decades, our community has come together, united by a shared dream of a park that would inspire, rejuvenate, and connect us all. From the early brainstorming sessions to the final ribbon cutting tonight, your ideas, input, and support have been vital, and your contributions have left an enduring mark on this project. As we celebrate the completion of Riverfront Park Improvement Project, we do so with deep humility and a profound appreciation for each and every one of you who has played a part in this journey. May this park stand as a testament to the power of community, the beauty of collaboration, and the boundless potential of our shared dreams. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Welcome to Riverfront Park. We cannot wait for you to enjoy it.
There was a group of the contractors standing in a circle out there talking when I arrived, and Ryan, you gave everyone credit but yourself. And I will tell you, every one of them was singing your praises, so your new nickname is Rockstar. Yeah. So we appreciate you. So I get to see Ryan every morning, and I guarantee you if his hair wasn't so short, it would be as white as mine, because I know the anxious moments he's had, along with all the staff. And we have the most dedicated staff at the city of Miamisburg. No matter who they are, all they want to do is make sure things are right in Miamisburg and that they're doing the best job for the citizens, and they are doing it. So please appreciate them when you see them. They all got a shirt on, they all got a logo on. Say hi to them and thank them for what they've done here. So let's cut a ribbon.
Thank you all so much for being here. My name is Jen Brandt. I'm the Recreation and Special Events Superintendent. We are so stoked that you're all here, and we want each and every one of you to be a part of the grand opening for Riverfront Park. You are going to get to take a piece of the ribbon home with you today. We have staff throughout the park, all throughout this amphitheater and all around the Great Lawn that are wearing a shirt exactly like mine. They are going to come around very quickly and efficiently and pass out all of our scissors and get you ribbon as fast as possible. Parks and Recreation staff, if you could please pass out the scissors and ribbon, I will watch, and when we're ready, we will do the countdown. Go right ahead. Shelby's got to come up for yours. You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Oh, I love the ribbon.
Can't do any damage with this. Shelby.
That's the point. Thank you. Oh, I love the ribbon.
Yeah.
So beautiful. You all want to stand in front of me. Why don't you get in front of the podium and get in front of me so they can see you? Are these two That's true. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you all so much for being a part of this celebration. We want you to stay and enjoy the park tonight. We have a couple of food vendors here. We have games on the Great Lawn. We have face painting. The playground is open. The spray ground is on if you would like to go over to the spray ground. Enjoy the swings, enjoy the playground, and have a wonderful time.
I love the swings along the river, that you can sit and just think and look at the river.
Wonderful to see something that started so long ago be completed, and as they mentioned before, it's really the community that made it happen. So somebody just had to get it started, and they just kept going after that. So that's just a testament to the entire community. Really, my Lord, we started. We had to do the properties first, and we knew we wanted to see a park happen here. So that was the first idea, and then the question is, there were so many properties here that how do we go about it? And it's just one at a time, just one at a time as the money was available and working with the property owners. As that was completed, as he said, it was about a 6-year process just to get that done. But in the meantime, we were brainstorming, hearing from the community about what they wanted to see in this park, and it really was about connecting to the river and also connecting to the downtown and revitalizing. And you can see now, it's so cool to see the patios that are in the back, you know, with the restaurants and the businesses. And I mean, it's super heartwarming. I still live in the community, even though I moved away. I still had a place here, still have a place here. And so Miamisburg's been my home since 1995. So,
Is this what you envisioned?
well, yes. Yes, connecting to the river, having a gathering place, a place like this, and whatever was going to be here, it just needed to, it's that sense of community and that community pride and that community togetherness. That's what this was supposed to be, and everyone through this 20 years plus have contributed, and that's why it's going to be, and it already is successful. This many people here already, it's fantastic.